In 1976, a miniature golf course and arcade opened just off Highway 91 in Southern California. The man behind this establishment was Wendell Ray Hurlbut, or Bud. Today, his creation has expanded to include many attractions and is known as Castle Park. Bud was born on June 13, 1918. His family moved from South Dakota to Southern California in 1928 when he was 10 years old. The whole family made the trip in a Ford Model T. Bud grew up in California, graduating from Whittier High School in 1935. He tried several career paths, at first working as a pattern maker for aircraft, and later as a mechanical engineer. Bud's true passion lay in the invention and creation of amusement park attractions. He especially loved miniature trains and carousels. In 1943, Bud began building and selling 1/5 size custom locomotives, and with the funds from this, he was able to open his first kiddie park in 1945. The park was a success, including a small carousel and several other attractions of Bud's own design. One day, Bud noticed a man at his park who didn't seem like a normal customer.
So I went over to him and I shook out my hand. I said, "I see you come to my park here occasionally. You must enjoy it, you know." And I said, "My name's Bud Hurlbut and I own this." And he stood up and said, "Glad to meet you. My name's Walt Disney."
Bud and Disney became good friends and would often meet to discuss each other's respective ventures. Another Walter who would play a big part in Bud's life was Walter Knott, creator of Knott's Berry Farm. One of Bud's greatest achievements at the farm was his work on the Calico mine ride. The ride was meant to show guests what the work of a miner in the days of the gold rush entailed. Construction of the ride was a huge endeavor, and Bud invested nearly everything he had to make it possible.
I sold my ranch and I sold my house. I just bought a new Cadillac and I sold it. And I had down to nothing. I didn't have anything else to sell. So I had to go to Mr. Knott and tell him, hey, I'm down to the bottom of the barrel. And he says, well, don't pay me any rent, on my percentage on the ride you're doing, and we'll go into partnerships.
To promote the ride, the short film A Family Builds a Mountain was produced in 1960. Though Bud usually preferred to stay out of the spotlight, he agreed to take part in the film.
Our engineer on this trip will be Bud Hurlbut, a man who knows a lot about the history of mining and who played an important part in designing and building the Calico. The mine cars are loaded and away we go.
Though the Calico mine ride was a huge success, Knott wasn't always so encouraging of Bud's ideas. In 1963, Bud conceived his next groundbreaking ride design, a ride known today as the log ride. Knott, however, was skeptical of the idea and refused to let Bud build one at the farm. So, after experimenting with the idea and eventually developing a working log ride, Bud sold it to Six Flags in Texas. He then visited his creation with Knott, who finally saw the ride's merit.
He said, "Bud, why didn't you tell me it was like this?" I said, "I did." And I said, "You looked at my drawing?" "I did." "No," he said, "I didn't see it that way. Let's get on one and you hurry and get it going."
For America's 200th birthday, Knott wanted to recreate the Independence Hall at the farm. Bud got to work on creating a perfect replica of the Liberty Bell and presented it to Knott as a gift. Bud was so happy with the results that he later made another replica, this time for himself. Today, Bud's replica is proudly featured at Castle Park. When Knott decided to retire, it came time for Bud to create something on his own. He opened Castle Park in 1976. Back then, it was simply a miniature golf course and arcade. But Bud's love for rides took over, and the park expanded and grew, just as it continues to do to this day. Castle Park is a testament to Bud's innovative thinking, attention to detail, and love of fun. When asked why he didn't retire and play golf as he could have, Bud responded that Castle Park was his golf game. In 2011, Bud passed away at the age of 92. His enormous achievements in the amusement park industry will not soon be forgotten. Through his work, which often recreates the experiences of an era gone by, while still pushing the limits of what an amusement park ride has to offer, Bud truly honored the past and inspired the future.